Greetings and salutations, everybody, and welcome to the very first episode of Glitched Out. I am your host, Lord X, and I welcome you to this brand new gaming podcast. And joining me today is the one, the only, Israel Pacheco. That's what I said when we recorded this the first time. However, I had a little issue with my mic, and the whole recording was basically lost. Nothing on my end was actually recorded. It was just Izzy talking to himself, basically. So instead of putting out that, I've decided that for this first little episode, which will be extremely short because it's just me talking to you, I'm just going to introduce this brand new podcast. Next week, we will be back on track, hopefully. Myself, Izzy, and or James, and or Big Boss will be here, and we'll be talking about E3 and whatnot. But for now, I'm just here to tell you about Glitched Out. Glitched Out, of course, is our brand new podcast focusing on gaming and gaming only. It's an offshoot of the Canuck podcast, which if you did not see the final episode of that, we decided that it was time to retire that show and move on to something new. And something new, of course, was separating the gaming from the movies and TV stuff into two separate podcasts. That being said, this is Glitched Out, where we talk about the gaming stuff, and we've got a similar format to what we used to do. Now, on the show that myself and Izzy recorded, well, we had the stuff that we've been playing that week. For Izzy, it had been The Witcher 3, Wild Hunt, and he had been loving the game. He had nothing but good thing after good thing to say, pretty much selling me on the game, making me want to buy the game, but something really I can't afford to get right now. So yeah, he had fun with that. For myself, I talked about playing Omega Quintet on the PlayStation 4, which has been a quirky, fun JRPG from Compile Heart and Idea Factory. Really fun, really enjoyable. I like it, my kind of style of game. I had also been playing Ep1, and that glitched out. I said the name of the show, huh? Yeah, it started glitching around me, crashing, so I stopped playing that for the time being, hoping that the developers actually get a patch out for that in the very near future, because I really want to play through that game, and I really want to get the Platinum Trophy into it. And speaking of getting the Platinum Trophy, I got the Platinum Trophy in Sound Shapes. Not once, not twice, but thrice. I got it on the Vita, the PS3, and the PlayStation 4. And in total, including the DLC, I got 267 trophies. 261 silver, 3 gold, 3 platinum. Really cool. So that's what I had been playing the past week, and what Izzy had been playing as well. Then, of course, we had our usual segment, something we brought over from the Canuck podcast, and that was the games of June. And we ran down through the list, and we talked a little bit about the stuff that we were looking forward to. Now, the list of games for June include Hatred for Windows and Massive Chalice for Windows, Mac, and Linux on June 1st. On the 2nd, we have Heroes of the Storm for Windows and Mac, Lord of Magna, Maiden Heaven for the 3DS, The Escapist for the PlayStation 4. On the 5th, we have D4, Dark Dreams Don't Die for Windows, formerly an Xbox One exclusive, now coming to PC as well. Then on the 9th, we have The Elder Scrolls Online Tamriel Edition, or Tamriel Unlimited Edition for PS4 and Xbox One, and Operation Abyss New Tokyo Legacy for the PlayStation Vita. Then on the 12th, we have a game that Izzy is looking forward to, and that's Lego Jurassic World for everything under the sun, that being Windows, Xbox 360, Xbox One, PS3, PS4, PlayStation Vita, Wii U, and 3DS. Then we have Payday 2 Crime Wave Edition for the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One on the 16th. Then on the 23rd, the biggest day of the month in my opinion, and in Izzy's opinion as well, Batman Arkham Knight for PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and Windows, and Devil May Cry 4 Special Edition for Windows, PS4, and Xbox One. Batman, really excited for. I have the collector's edition of that pre-ordered. The one with the statue, not the Batmobile. Then on the 30th, we have Hyperdimension Neptunia Rebirth 3V Generation for the PlayStation Vita, a port of the third game released on PlayStation 3. J-Stars Victory vs. Plus for the PlayStation 4, PlayStation 3, and PlayStation Vita. And Queen at Arms for Windows. Myself, I have both Hyperdimension Neptunia Rebirth 3V Generation and J-Stars Victory vs. Plus. God, that name's a tongue twister to say sometimes. Pre-ordered, so I'm really pumped for those two games. And then on the to-be-announced side, we have Badland Game of the Year Edition for the Wii U, MotoGP 15 for Windows, PS3, 360, the Vita, the PlayStation 4, and the Xbox One, Mutant Mudds Super Challenge for the 3DS and the Wii U, and Super Hot for Windows, Xbox One, Mac, and Linux. And that was the games of June. Pretty good list. Kind of, you know, there's a few heavy hitters there. The Elder Scrolls Online will attract a few people since it's free to play now. Lego Jurassic World, like I said, Izzy's excited for that. I'm kind of excited. The Lego games are usually pretty good. Batman Arkham Knight, biggest game of the month. We'll be talking about that a lot come June 23rd. And, well, for me, the two Japanese games releasing on the 30th, I'm really looking forward to. Now, after that, we dove straight into 4 news stories that we had for the month of June. Well, not for the month of June, for the past week. Those being Sony files trademark for The Player, which is supposed to be a dramatic TV series and game, apparently, according to the trademark. No idea what that is yet. Sony really hasn't come in and said. Our speculation is that we'll learn at E3 what that is. Maybe it's a return of the tester, maybe not. The next news story was LEGO Dimensions reveals Doc Brown, Joker, Harley Quinn, and more. That's right, LEGO Dimensions is getting even more content from DC. There's a Cyborg pack, the Harley Quinn and Joker pack, Aquaman, Doc Brown, and the actual freaking time-traveling train from the third Back to the Future movie, which has me really excited. I have this game already pre-ordered. I know pre-order is a bad word most of the time, but if I like something that I see, I'm going to pre-order it, okay? And I pre-ordered LEGO Dimensions because I'm really excited about that game. Disney Infinity didn't sell me. Izzy saying that he's probably going to dive into that one come the fall because of all the Star Wars stuff. Skylanders, I didn't really care about. Sure, it had Spyro to begin with, but it just wasn't my kind of game. But yeah, LEGO Dimensions looks really cool in my opinion. And just, you know, having the little buildable figures that you can make, and LEGO looks good regardless of, you know, what they are. LEGO is cool. I grew up with LEGO, so I'm really hyped for this game and having interactive LEGOs that I can put into a game. Anyways, next up, we had a story detailing Capcom prioritizing HD remasters of hit titles. That's right, looks like Capcom wants to bring more stuff like Resident Evil HD and Okami that they did a couple of years ago. They want to bring in more HD titles. We've been seeing this with the 2 Devil May Cry games, so our speculation is that they might bring up something like Onimusha to next-gen consoles, which would be really cool. I can't remember exactly what Izzy said some of the stuff that he was excited for, so I do apologize for that. And finally, we had the PlayStation Plus free games for June of 2015. And this list was actually pretty good, starting off with Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes for the PlayStation 4. Konami can go fuck themselves, as we talked about, but, you know, it's cool that that game will be coming out for free for people in June. Maybe get more people excited for the, quite possibly the final good Metal Gear Solid game that will be released this fall, the Phantom Pain. So it's really cool that that game's going to be given out for free. Myself and Izzy, we both had bought the game previously. We both enjoyed it. We thought it was a great game. A bit short and demo-ish for the most part. The other games that are releasing for free in the month of June are Skulls of the Shogun Bonafide Edition for the PlayStation 4, Super Exploding Zoo for the PlayStation Vita and the PlayStation 4, which I'm excited about just because of the description alone. Players must defend all the precious animal eggs in the zoo from evil aliens who want to eat said eggs. How do you defend these tasty treats? With a herd of explosive animals, obviously. Next up we have Future Iridium EP Deluxe for the PlayStation Vita and PlayStation 4, a psychedelic retro-inspired shooter with crazy action puzzle elements and a bumping electronic soundtrack. May or may not induce random dance parties. And finally on the PlayStation 3 we have Call of Juarez Gunslinger, which was supposed to be a really good game, and Cloudberry Kingdom, which if you want to see more of that, I did do a Let's Play series on, so go check that out if you want to see me suffer and curse at that bloody game. I'll probably download it on the PlayStation 3 and try and get some trophies for it, maybe. If it does have trophies, I'm not sure. But anyways, that was it for that little news segment. Then we moved on to our topic of the week, in which, since our next show is going to be talking about E3 of this year and predicting what we think may or may not happen, we decided that our topic was going to be our favorite E3 moments of the past. And of course, the biggest thing that stood out for us was Sony's press conference from 2 years ago, when they introduced the price of the PlayStation 4 and pretty much kicked Microsoft in the balls, like at the end of the show. Jack Trin dropping the mic, having his best E3 for his last E3 for Sony. And some of the other stuff we talked about, the worst moments, like the introduction of the PlayStation 3 and Sony's horrific conference that year with giant enemy crabs and Ridge Racer. We all remember that. We also talked about the introduction of the new Twisted Metal and one of Izzy's favorite moments from a Nintendo press conference where they introduced Donkey Kong Country Returns. So yeah, we had a really nice discussion going on about that, and I hate the fact that we lost that recording. It really hurts quite a bit. Hopefully next week all goes well. This little recording here is going fantastically well, so we all hope ahead, and we want to hear about your favorite E3 moments, so please, in the comments below, let us know what your favorite E3 moments of the past are. And finally, we do have the questions and comments section, but seeing as this was the first episode, we had no questions, we had no comments, so please, questions, comments, leave it to us down below, or send it to us on Twitter. And with that, yeah, you can find us on Twitter. I'm at @the_LordX. Izzy is at Israel Pacheco 89. ECW James is at House_Rage. And the big boss is the_Highwind32. Yes, I believe that's right. But anyways, hit us up wherever you can find us, folks. We want to hear from you. Again, I do apologize for the fact that this first episode, well, it kind of glitched out. I'll see myself out now. Thank you for watching. I've been Lord X. You've been awesome. I will catch you next time.